Hello, welcome back to Buckle Up. My name is Rob Wilson and this is the new Mercedes Benz E Class estate. And today I'm going to find out if it's any good. Right, let's start as we normally do at the front, where this is very Mercedes Benz. We've got nice big silvery chrome grille that goes a vast way across the front of the car. No big Mercedes-Benz star further down on the grille because that's where our radar systems are, but we do get a proper star on top which moves about so that you won't be impaled to death if you are hit by one of these. We've got some nice big LED lights which still have the traditional 4 spotlights, something that's been on E-Classes for a long time. We've got some fake vents around here and it's quite smooth and aerodynamic, but none of these actually have any function, all in the name of being as slippery as possible, I imagine. But let's have a look at the side, because here we've got some rather large 21-inch alloy wheels and they've got some aero bladey bits in them as well to help with efficiency. We've got chrome around the window line, chrome on the tops of the door handles which pop out when you want to get in and out of the car. We've got some chrome roof rails as well. Fuel flap here at the back into which we put diesel. What year is it? No, but we'll talk more about that later on. And again, very smooth and aerodynamic. It's just all very delicate lines, nothing aggressive or angular going on here, just very, very smooth. So at the back, we have a sort of light bar that goes the full width of the boot lid, Mercedes-Benz badge, E450D. Diesel, as I said before. These aren't exhausts, they just sort of look like them, but more chrome detailing and 4MATIC for the all-wheel drive system. So let's open up the boot because it's pretty big. We've got 615 litres of space in here. We've got a nice flat load lip. We've got the clever parcel shelf that moves out of the way. We've got a strap, we've got Annette, she lives over there. We've got some hooks, we've got buttons for folding down the back row of seats, which are 40, 20, 40 split. So if you want to do through loading, you absolutely can. Now, this is a really nice big square space. There's going to be no issues with if you've got a dog, if you golf, if you have kids and all of their stuff, like a cello needs to go in the back. I'm sure that if you took one tyre off a bike, it would also go in here as well. So a nice practical size. But let's go and have a look in the back seats and see if I fit, because I'm quite tall. Right, here in the back, and for reference, I'm 6'2" or 188 centimetres tall. And as you can see, this seat is set up in my driving position and I have just about enough knee room to swing my legs about. There is a cutout in the back of this chair which looks a little bit like E.T.'s head from here. Headroom wise is not bad at all. Actually, I can sit all the way upright and my head doesn't touch, even with this split sunroof that's going across the roof of this particular car. In terms of features back here, we've got aeroplane style pockets on both of the front seats. We have air vents here in the back, but we do not have the ability to choose the temperature or fan speed back here, so you'll just have to ask up front nicely. We've got some really nice use of materials up here on the tops of the doors, all soft. You'll notice that this interior is brown of some description. I'm not quite sure what kind of brown, maybe more butterscotch. That might be a better word for it. The seats are lovely. These are perforated on the outer ones. The inner one is just flat and it's quite narrow and it is a bit raised, and because there's quite a large hump in the floor, I'm not sure it would be particularly comfortable with 3 abreast in here, and there definitely wouldn't be enough foot room. I've got a armrest here in the middle. The door pockets hold a decent size bottle of water, and they are carpeted so that things won't rattle around in there too much. We of course have Isofix on both of these outer seats, so fitting a child seat should be a doddle. But let's head up front and we can see what's going on up there, because there are many screens. Yeah, so I wasn't joking about the screens. I've obviously got a driver's digital display in front of me, which I can fiddle around with and change to have various different modes on if I want to. We've got the latest version of the artist formerly known as Hyperscreen, is now the Super Screen in the centre, which is the main one that you're using for your navigation. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto all hooks up seamlessly, and it's very quick to respond and it just works. There is stuff for your climate as well, because there's no physical climate controls below here. There are a few buttons like a volume one, on off, hazards, shortcuts to the car's systems and to the parking cameras, as well as your driving modes. But that, you know, I'm very happy with that. That works very nicely. There is another screen in front of the passenger, which you have to turn on and log in. And then you can do some very interesting things like go on YouTube and watch that. You know, there's a channel I've heard of called Buckle Up. It's quite good. I recommend subscribing to it. But that means that passengers can be entertained while you're driving along. So if you're going on long road trips, that's quite a handy thing to have. And if you are driving along and you're following your sat nav and you think, oh, I need to update that, but you've got a passenger with you, they can do it in that screen and send it to the main screen here. There's a little camera up here on the dashboard as well, which can be used for many different things, either monitoring you or as a sort of inbuilt dash cam if necessary. Everything in here, I mean, look at this mood lighting. It all just feels and looks posh. It's very upmarket. This is wood on top of the center console here, and if I push that down out the way, there is a wireless phone charger in there, 2 USB-Cs, 2 cup holders. If I open up this armrest, again, another 2 USB-Cs and a decent storage bin. We've got a glove box, which is a decent size under your passenger screen. You've got door pockets that can fit the bottle of water in, again, carpeted. Got nice metal-y finishes here on the air vents, on the speaker grills, more speakers and tweeters and heads-up displayness and sunroof and everything. Everything you touch and feel when you like click the indicator stalk down or select drive, it just feels solid and expensive, which is a good job because the car is quite expensive. I think this one's about £80,000 spec'd as it is, so not cheap. But how does it drive? Well, let's find out. Right, okay then, so driving the E Class estate. First things first, let's talk about the figures. So we've got a diesel engine, as I said. This is the 450, which means absolutely nothing numerically, but it means it's got 360 horsepower, 750 newton meters of torque. Now that is a lot, and that means it'll do 0-60 in 4.8 seconds and go into a limited top speed of 155 miles an hour. All very German, but I think that that's just spot on in terms of what this engine is offering you. Obviously, it's a diesel. This car, I think, inherently isn't set up to be sporty. It's set up to be comfortable, and it certainly is. And mated with that diesel engine, it really is just riding a wave of torque. Basically, it's a cruiser. It's set up for just munching mile after mile on the German Autobahn or the British motorways. And if you are looking to do long distances and you want to carry a family and all of their things, and you're thinking, oh, I could buy a nice SUV, don't do it. Get a wagon, get an estate. You know, they're starting to come back into fashion now. This one's got 4MATIC all-wheel drive, so it will go as far as your quote-unquote off-roader will. And because this is lighter, lower to the ground, and basically better in every way, I mean, the boot isn't going to be any smaller than an SUV. It's going to do more miles to the gallon as a result of that. I think it's rated about 45 mpg, but obviously on a motorway, it's going to go up significantly. It's way more aerodynamic, it's faster, it handles better, although as I said, it's not sporty, the steering is light. You can put it into sport mode if you want to, but I really wouldn't bother. I do like that you've got the 3-pointed star back on the front of the car, because I can see that as I'm driving along now, and it just, apart from the fact it obviously helps you with determining where the front of the car is, it also just looks quite cool. I'm going to give it a welly full here. Oh, there's 60. Yeah, that's certainly sprightly and more than enough power for day-to-day driving. You don't need to go quicker than that, and obviously if you want to, good news, Mercedes do AMG versions of this very car, so you can have a V8 and some turbos and pop some bangs and annoy your neighbours if your heart really wants to. But if you just want something that is quiet, comfortable, can do lots of miles in, is very nice to sit in, it's got lots of tech, but it can be disabled if you want to. You can turn off the speed warning really easily. Just a press of a button, well, it's not a button, press of the screen when you set off and it turns off, and you can configure it to save a lot of those features if you set up your profile, so you don't have to turn them off every time. It's a very relaxing car to be in, and it does feel posh and premium and upmarket, and that goes a long way these days. You can absolutely tell the difference between the quality in something like this and, say, a Volkswagen Passat, for example, which is now estate only. I can just feel it floating along this road as well. The suspension is set up definitely for compliance rather than setting a lap time at your local racetrack. And the all-wheel drive 4MATIC system just gives you that peace of mind, means you can use all of the power without having to worry about the back end suddenly coming out. It's a really well thought out car in that regard. And with that, I think we'll head back and I will do a bit of a conclusion. Right then, that is the E Class tested. Now, what do I think? Well, it's supremely comfortable and quiet, and with the estate bit on the back, incredibly practical. I think it looks quite smart. I think it drives really nicely. And if I was wanting a family car that was premium and posh and can do everything, this is a very good option. I wouldn't bother getting an SUV when you can get something like this, especially with the 4MATIC all-wheel drive as well. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like, comment down below and let me know your thoughts on the new E Class, but most importantly, please do subscribe to the Buckle Up YouTube channel and ding the notification bell so you never miss one of our uploads. If you want to support what we do, you can check out the description, because down there we have links to all our social media, so please go and follow us on there. You can buy some channel merch, or you can become a channel member. So thank you again for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.